Bare necessity, but simple bare necessity. Bare necessity, but simple bare necessity.
Hey there, it's Bree Bear and welcome to today's video. This is going to be the mid-year Freakout book tag. Or mid-year book Freakout tag? I don't know. It's the one where you freak out about your books. That's all I know. I have never filmed this tag before. I've seen it in past years, I've considered it a couple times, but I'm very bad about picking favorites. So I never really did this book tag, but now I'm going to do it. I'm just gonna try. But we're gonna have to wing just a little bit. I also want to address the elephant in the room. I'm wearing a very fall, winter look at the moment. Very fall, winter lip. Very fall, winter vibes in my color choices. We're accepting it. I understand that it's July that I'm filming this, August when you're seeing this. I understand that it is the middle of summer. It's just what it is, okay? It's what I pulled out to put on next so I could continue filming. I just went from a very summery look to a very fall look. It's just what happened, okay? It's what happened today. Whatever, it's fine. I mean, it's got like flowiness to it. That counts for something, right? It's got like the sleeves, right? So question number 1 is best book of the year so far. And I cannot choose. I don't do favorites. I have 4 shelves worth of books that I consider favorite books. 4 shelves. Now granted, one of them is almost entirely, I could fit all of the Cassandra Clare books on a full shelf, so there is that to consider. But still, my friends, still, it's a problem. So that being said, I am not going to answer this question, and I'm not going to make myself try. Question number 2 is the best sequel I've read so far this year. Hands down, that goes to all of the Wayward Children series. I read all of them except for the newest one so far this year. And so mine is this one. Like, these are all of my favorite sequels so far this year. Like, I can't think of very many sequels that I have read this year, to be honest, because I've mostly series-wise I read this series, and I read the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, and this is my favorite of the 2. So these are my favorite sequels of the 2. For number 3, the question is a new release that you haven't gotten to yet. And for this, I pulled specifically from books I own, and I tried to keep it to only a couple of books because it is supposed to be like a one answer. So I only picked 2, and that is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland, which I've heard mixed things on. Lala didn't really like it, but Julie really loved it. Julie from Pages and Pens really loved it. Lala was disappointed by it. So I'm conflicted on whether I'm gonna love this or not. Whether it's gonna be an average book or a great book. We shall see. But based on the things that Lala said, I feel like even if I do enjoy the book, I could understand why she didn't. You know what I mean? But like, if I fall in love with the characters enough, then that won't bother me enough to knock down the rating too far. We'll see. We'll see when I get there. Alright, and then also The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. I'm probably saying that wrong. Boulay. Boula. I didn't check pronunciations before I started filming. There's too many pronunciations to check at this point. Veda is too much for me to check pronunciations, okay? Okay. So ignore every pronunciation mistake I make in the next month. Okay. So, ironically enough, both of these are on my TBR for Avengers things. This is actually one of our group books that is upcoming. Hee hee. And this is actually on one of my character board TBRs now. So I am definitely going to actually get to them. So yay me. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I haven't gone in super far looking at new releases for this year, mainly because I wanted to try to pull from what I have as best as I can, A. B, I just didn't take the time to go through and look at what's coming up and what's coming out this year. So even authors that I really love, I haven't gone in depth to see what they have new this year that has been or will be released. So kind of behind on the times on that, but it's okay. I do have a couple because I have watched some of Lala's videos about books that are coming up and things like that. She does a couple a year, like at least one at the beginning of the year and one in the middle. So that was Teddy yawning, in case you wanted to know. So he's over here right now because, you know, this is his second home. So basically, I have a couple, but I don't know a ton about them, but I tend to be excited to see more about books that Lala mentions in these videos. A lot of times, depending on the book. Like, not all of them I know, not all of them are going to be for me, but there are some of them like, ooh, ah. Anyways, one of them is Dark Stars. It's an anthology. I don't remember all of the authors, but I remember really enjoying the idea of the synopsis. And I need more anthologies in my life because I don't have enough. And I'm starting to find ones that I'm really enjoying. And the first anthology that I really, really loved, I found through Lala. So I definitely want to read more of her recommended anthologies. And so since she's interested in this one, I became interested in it. Next is I also included How to Kill Your Best Friend, which I don't remember the author's name off the top of my head. There are several more as well. I just tried to narrow it down to 2. Biggest disappointment. I got a couple over here. You've been seeing them in all of the shots. Whoops. Ever the Hunted by Erin Summerall. This book. Okay, so I was kind of hoping that Jesse was wrong when he said this was average, but he wasn't. And it was below average for me. It was a 2-star because I had some issues with some of the things. As much as I adore this cover, the contents did not match the beauty of the cover. I was very disappointed by it. Also, Rise of the Red Hand by Olivia Chada. This had a lot of potential, and I think that's why I'm the most disappointed, because it has a lot of potential and a lot of the concepts were good. It was execution issues. Both of these ended up being 2 stars for me. Another 2-star as well was an audiobook called Midnight Sun. This is not Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. It's a different one. I don't remember the author's name off the top of my head, but basically it is about this guy who is an indigenous Alaskan man who became an actor, and it's like a true crime. I thought it was going to be completely different than what it was. It was kind of more like investigative journalism, but not very well done investigative journalism, and like kind of leaned a little bit too far into like feeling conspiracy-esque and like weird. I don't know. Like there were some really decent things, but like in the end I was ultimately just ugh. By the end of it I was just like over it. There were too many negatives for it to outweigh the positives, and like it sounded like it would be a really cool book from the synopsis, but it wasn't when I read it what I thought it was going to be. And I don't know if that was a marketing issue or a me issue. I can't remember. I would have to go back and reread the synopsis to confirm that, but in the end, not a fan. Was disappointed. Next we have The Biggest Surprise, and for me I'm gonna go with Bird Box by Josh Malerman. Wow, what a ride. This book blew it out of the water for me. It's the best horror book that I've read so far, which granted that's not very many because I'm like, you know, easing into horror a little bit as I go. Just easing it in whenever I feel like I can do it. But this book, wow, I very much enjoyed it. It was real good. It was a real good time. There is heart and feeling and emotions in this that I was not expecting. It's very short, but very impactful, and does a really great job at what it does. It is so like, I don't know if harrowing is the word. It's more like, it's just melancholy to the end. You have this very sad feeling throughout the whole book. It's just, you're so sad by what's happening in the world, and it's just so good. Oh my gosh. I might need to move this to my favorite shelf, to be honest. There were some things that I didn't like, but I understand the need for most of them to really bring the story to what it was. So, I mean, it's kind of like like it was for me with Perks of Being a Wallflower. It, you know, was kind of a mixture. Speaking of, why didn't I pull that? I should have pulled that. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. I should have pulled this. Perks of Being a Wallflower was a complete surprise for me. When I first started this book, I considered, like, I actually even considered DNFing this, even though I was doing a video with it. I was hating it. Go and watch my video on this, seriously. Not even trying to plug because I want to plug, but more because I want you guys to go watch it because of the mind-blowing shift that I went through while reading this book, and my, you know, my relationship with the book, how much it changed throughout the course of it. So crazy. So crazy how much my mood changed in regards to this book. I should have included this one in my original list. I'm glad I thought about it. But yeah, these two. Moving on. Favorite authors. New favorite authors. I'm gonna call it more like authors that I want to read more of for this year, because they're not favorites per se yet, except for one of them. I know for sure that Shauna McGuire is a new favorite author. I can say that with confidence. Because I've now read 5 books from her, I'm pretty sure I can stick with that answer. But the other 2 are more like authors that I'm excited to continue reading from because how much I enjoyed their writing, the characters that they created, etc. And I think that they have a lot of potential to write even better books and things that I'll love even more as they continue to grow as writers. Because they're not the most like prolific authors yet. They're like a little bit newer to publishing their books, to my understanding. One of them, I know they published at least 1 book before this. The other one, I don't remember if she has any other books out yet. But either way, we have The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I read this year and I really enjoyed her writing style. I know it's not for everyone. I know some people don't like this book because of certain things, but for me, because of the characters and that kind of stuff, it really just pulled through for me as a sister relationships really just are very impactful for me personally. So really loved this book, but I really like her writing style. I think that she has some, you know, really cool kind of techniques that she uses. She weaves things together in a very artful way. She has a beautiful relationship with prose, and I think she has a lot of potential to continue to really wow people. Again, I don't think that her books are necessarily going to be for everyone because those things are not necessarily everybody's favorite thing. B, because some of the other things in her book or books, to my understanding, but like in this one, I can vouch for, like, you know, Christine didn't really love it. Margaret didn't love it completely. I don't remember if Michelle finished this one. It was just like kind of a mixed bag. I really enjoyed it though, because I am a very character-driven reader a lot of times. That did come through for me enough in the end to make it a very enjoyable read. So, but again, her prose, great. Also, we have Alicia Dow, Really enjoyed The Sound of Stars. I love the characters that she wrote. She made me fall in love with them. Absolutely in love. I also liked the way that she wove in pop culture in a very organic way that was just so enjoyable. She had some really gorgeous lines here. I liked the way that she naturally wove in development so that it wasn't forced feeling. Information wasn't, you know, info dumpy. It was woven in naturally, and I really enjoyed that. So I think she has a lot of potential. I do think there were some plot related issues with this book, so I do think that she has some room to grow, but I definitely am interested in reading more from her as well. New fictional crush. I don't really have a specific answer for this that I can think of this year. I don't really think there are specific characters that I'm like obsessed with or anything. But I do have to say that I do really love Morris, and I might date him because of how cute his flirting and things are, and like how innocent and pure and open he is with his thoughts and feelings, and just I like him a lot. And you know, I don't know if we would be beyond friends, but you know, if the opportunity was there, maybe could be a thing. I could be down with Nick, to be honest. Like, a musician, and he's sweet, and that first date, oh my gosh, I was dying during this book, absolutely dying. I loved everything about it. Newest favorite characters. Again, I shall say Morris, but also Ellie. Love her so much. They're so good. I'm also gonna say the sisters, all three sisters, I really love a lot. Juniper would probably be the one that I relate to the most, or like I can see like the most, like I feel the most connection to, if that makes sense. It's the Wayward Children. I love them so much. Sumi, Lendi, Nancy. So the next question is a book that made you cry. I have never cried at a book, and I don't know if it's the opposite way of Christine, where she's like, this is reality. I'm like, I refuse to allow myself to feel it. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like I'm the opposite of her in that way, that like her thing is to dive into it and my thing is to like jump out of the feelings. I don't know. That's another conversation for a troop talk at some point. But I am going to tell you some books that did give me emotions and feelings. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie McKeesey. The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I didn't have this on my list originally, but once I pulled it off my shelf, I thought I'd just keep it off. Perks of Being a Wallflower. Actually, honestly, Bird Box by Josh Malerman. Not even lying. And then of course, the Wayward Children series. To be frank, The Sound of Stars too gave me some good feels. I get a lot of feels, but I don't get actual tears. Like, I kind of separate myself from it so that I don't actually ever cry. Which is sad, because I wish I was a book crier. I wish I felt things during reading times so that I could express emotions whilst reading instead of it being bottled up and then having bad explosions later. It'd be much preferable. Books that made you happy. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie McKeesey. Perks of Being a Wallflower. The Little Prince. The Sound of Stars. Sorry, Teddy. Didn't mean to almost drop that on you. Night of Cake and Puppets. The Wayward Children series. Shall I continue repeating myself over and over again? The Most Beautiful Book You Bought. Halls of Hollow. Are you kidding me? Holy cow, what a cover. Where is it? There it is. I do like all of the Wayward Children, but my particular favorite is Beneath the Sugar Sky. Oh, It's a beauty. She is beauty. She is grace. And similar color scheme, the one that I just dropped on Teddy, hang on. The Sound of Stars. And if we take off the dust jacket, The Night of Cake and Hottie Puppets. Holy cow, what a beautiful book. What books do I need to read before the end of the year? I don't have anything super set in stone other than the books that are on my character boards that I, have penciled in to read from my character boards. I don't have a specific, like, oh, I have to read this by the end of the year. This particular year, I've just been focused on what is going to complete as many, what is going to complete as many character boards as possible. So whatever I need to read to do that. However, I would like to start focusing, sorry, I moved the camera. I would like to start focusing in on closing out series so that I can start new ones. And I would like to focus in on catching up on Cassandra Clare as well. So I've been trying to weave those in a bit, but it's been a bit of a challenge because they are kind of long. So I don't want to put them in all the time. And I don't want to put them back to back where I would have to read them too close together because that is a little, they get mixed up in my brain and stuff like that. It's a little, But we shall see. I mean, I don't plan on getting caught up with Cassandra Clare, and I don't plan on being able to close out any other series by the end of the year, but if I can at least take, some time to prep myself or to take steps to get closer to doing those things, then that would be a win in my book. Sam! They are being so drama right now. I guess they need a potty break. So once I get this video done, I guess we're taking a potty break. Favorite book community member? That has to go to my lovely co-hosts for the Avengers Initiative Reading Challenge. I have started watching through their back before I watched their videos, old videos, and like rewatching the ones that I have watched and like going through their videos in chronological order. I do this for lots of creators. I try to do it for everybody that I subscribe to, and I try to keep up with their content. I try to go back eventually, like go back to the very beginning and watch everything from the beginning all the way through. I just find that it helps me to really feel more connected to them and to feel like I know them a bit better, and it gives them a boost. It helps to boost their like. I can go through and like their videos. They get the watch time. So it helps their channel out, and it helps me to feel like more of a friend with them instead of just, knowing each other now. Like I feel like I've known more about them by doing that, and I've gotten to know, things that they've read, things that they haven't read or haven't talked about reading, things that they haven't shown interest in, things that they have, different parts of their lives that they've shared on their channels. I get to know all those kinds of things. So I have been trying to go through. My goal is to try to finish everybody before the end of the year at least, from the Avengers crew. I want to try to finish all of them by the end of the year. Watching through all their old videos and staying up to date with their new ones. So that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I just really love those girls. They mean a lot to me because they included me even though I am significantly smaller as a channel. They allowed me to hang out with them and continue to be a part of this readathon, even though I have the fewest number of people hanging out with me. They let me hang out with them, so it was kind of cool. And I just appreciate that a lot, and it has meant a lot to me to have that community and to have some friends that are not related to me, because my circle has gotten really small in the last 5 years. It's just shrunk slowly but surely, and now having them really does help me to feel a little bit less like I have 3 people in my life that I would really consider friends. So yeah, I really appreciate them a lot. I love them a lot. They make all sorts of different kinds of videos. And that's one of the things that I love about this friend group as well, is that we're all different, but we respect each other and respect our differences, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, I will have them linked down below. Yeah. I don't know why I did that. It's just the thing that I did. Okay, I'm gonna call this done because I'm pretty sure this is longer than I intended for it to be. So, yay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, whatever time it is for you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you will be notified when I post new videos. I will see you tomorrow with another BookTube beta video. Peace out, Bear Scouts.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your